finally been able to get into East Timor after 16 years of military occupation, what independent observers has called genocide. It's a story that has gone virtually unreported for 16 years because the Indonesian military has made it nearly impossible to record.
Closed off to the outside world, locked off islands, people left their fate. We managed to penetrate East Timor, going undercover to detail its forgotten modern history.
East Timor is located in South Asia on the Lesser Sunda Islands at the southern extreme of Malay Archipelago. East Timor was occupied by Indonesia from 1975 to 1999. The Truth and Reconciliation Act in East Timor cited a lower range of 102,800 deaths, 18,600 killings, 84,200 excess deaths from hunger and illnesses. Deaths range from 60,000 to 200,000. 400 miles northwest of Darwin at eastern end of Indonesian archipelago lies East Timor.
In 1975, Fredlin declared East Timor independent, and a month later, Indonesia invaded East Timor. Between 1975 and 1981, the Indonesian rule caused 200,000 people to die. In 1992, Shenana Gusmao, leader of the resistance, was captured near Dili. Between 1993 and 1995, groups of East Timorese people entered Jakarta seeking protection as political refugees. In 1995, 112 East Timorese and other sympathizers protested in Jakarta, marking the 20th anniversary of the Indonesian invasion. In 1998, the Indonesian president Suharto resigned and was replaced by Habibie. Habibie announced that East Timor should vote between special autonomy and independence. 78% of the voters favored independence. In December 1999, international donors from a conference in Tokyo agreed to provide the U.S. $520 million in aid to help rebuild East Timor.
We now have Paige live in East Timor to show us what's going on now.
Where people are getting forced out their homes, the Indonesian army are going ballistics. It's quite terrifying out here.
Then in December 1975, with the knowledge of the United States, Indonesia invaded East Timor.
Indonesian army! Indonesian army! Open up! Indonesian army! Indonesian army! Indonesian army! Indonesian army! Come here! 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 Come here!
Today we have with us Isaac, a journalist who just came back from East Timor to tell us about the Santa Cruz massacre and how it went. Thanks for coming, Isaac.
Thanks for having me, Courtney. It was a hot Monday morning. I was out in Dili, East Timor. It was the 12th of November, and I was marching with thousands of Timorese through the town of Santa Cruz at the cemetery where 27 years ago, Indonesian security forces killed many peaceful protesters. In 1991, they came to Santa Cruz Cemetery to lay flowers on the graves of the dead that were killed by the Indonesian security forces 2 weeks earlier. As they were walking, Indonesian security forces came and opened fire on them again.
Okay, please tell us more.
The world could no longer pretend that everything was business as usual in Timor. Human rights violations by the Indonesian security forces became well known to the world. After 8 years of struggle, a majority voted for the independence in a UN-sponsored referendum in 1999. This actually ended up becoming a reality in 2002. To this date, there has been no comprehensive progress to bring justice to those that are responsible for crimes against humanity and serious human rights violations committed in 1999 and during the Indonesian occupation that began in 1975. More than 300 people indicted for crimes against humanity and gross human rights violations continue to evade justice in Indonesia.
Yes, I have heard that. The country's authorities have refused to cooperate with the UN-sponsored justice system in East Timor and to extradite their nationals suspected of crimes against humanity and serious human rights violations.
As we walked in the heat, I wondered how many years must pass before the Timorese and the Indonesian authorities and the international community take a meaningful action to bring justice to the victims. Are the victims going to see justice one day at all? Will the UN Security Council exercise its leadership later today by showing its commitment to justice? I wonder. Thousands of Timorese here today are shouting slogans demanding justice for those who perished in 1991 and those who were killed, tortured, raped, and even disappeared during the years of the occupation of the East Timor by Indonesia between 1975 and 1999. What I know for sure is that they will not stop until justice has been served.
Thank you for coming on the show, Isaac.
Thank you for having me. It was great being here.
Yes.
Yes.
Jose Ramos Horta was president of East Timor from 2007 to 2012. He was once a part of the Fretilin Politician Party. In 1996, Ramos and Carlos won a joint Nobel Peace Prize for the independence of East Timor. Carlos Bilo was appointed Apostolic Pope in 1983. In 1994, he proposed a civil rights agreement to the Indonesian army, but they refused. A referendum was held in 1999.
Shanana Gusmao. He joined the Social Democrat Association, which was later transformed into a Revolutionary Front for an Independent Fretilin. He was leader of the resistance in 1981 and commander-in-chief of Phalanto. He was captured on November 20th in 1992 in Dili, East Timor, and he was sentenced to life in prison for plotting against Indonesian government, and his sentence was later reduced to 20 years, and he was released on house arrest in 1999.
And we're back. Here's a live clip of news reporters in Indonesia now.
We are now being held captive by the Indonesian army with some civilians.
And it's quite terrifying, and we have armies running around shooting people and everything.
Hey, no camera! No camera!
You gonna die.
Not playing. Make sure that shit don't stay in the house. We're here now being held by Whoa, where is going?